No, I got the Zoom wants to update. It's like, no, you don't want to update now. I'm busy.
Oh, Zoom wants it? I thought you meant just like your iOS was updating.
Oh, I don't. That's no. My
Never.
I'm on a PC, so iOS wouldn't do anything.
Good.
Mm,
Fuck iOS. It sucks.
mm.
It's terrible.
It's been said. Okay, hold on. Let me put my notes on the HISA here.
Do, 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 do.
First
Are,
one, mission third planet.
we're doing the oral hygiene first and then the Twilight Zone?
Oh shit, I wasn't Twilight Zone ready. I thought we were doing two oral hygienes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, which
Oh, two separate ones for those two separate things. Okay, cool.
but they'll be like 20-minute ones probably because there's not that much to talk about. They'll be like the
Yeah.
old school kind of ones, right?
That's
The
funny because that Twilight Zone episode was actually the last one I watched. So I was like,
that's a penny for your thoughts, is it?
so I watched it twice,
Oh,
which
okay.
never happens.
Yeah, I didn't watch it the first time, so we're not doing that one today, but we can do it
Nope.
like next week or something. What's the air date? Da, da, da.
Sure.
Oh, I'm asking myself what the air date is and then looking at the paper that says what it is.
I know you know that I don't know what the air date is.
No, I know that's what I'm looking at the paper. November 28th, so it's not like, there's like 25 days of time.
Cool.
Okay, so we'll do mission third planet first then, even though it
All
says third
right.
in the title, but there is no third today. I'm thinking the Monday now. Probably, I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is all open next week. So grab one and we can do that.
Um,
You can tell me later.
yeah, probably not Tuesday because I'm probably going to try to work to make a bunch of money off of everyone being scared of what happens. It's election day.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it took me a moment to work that out. I think I fixed my crackle mic. Tell me if I'm coming in crackly.
I don't hear it. I feel like
Okay.
you usually hear it more than I do. Like
The
my
last
filter itself.
the last few podcasts, my preamp was, I think maybe someone's vacuuming and like nudged the knobs and it was coming in too hot, so there's like every here and there.
Yeah.
If you listen, it was on Dracula. It was on a few others. I don't think it was on any of the Twilight Zone ones. I think it was on an oral hygiene. Anyway, whatever.
I listened to the Dracula one. It didn't seem bad to me. I don't know. Maybe I
Maybe
wasn't paying attention.
maybe when you're editing it, you notice.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, Thunderbirds. They're crackled there. But I kicked
Yeah.
it also, so that probably had something to do with it.
Just get a
But
new cord.
yeah, Thunderbirds had well, it was coming through hot on my preamp, so I turned down the knobs and turned up the windows, and it seems okay.
All right.
What? Welcome to Oral Hygiene. It's where we talk about educational films, caught films, experimental films. This is Matt here. With me today is Balak.
Yeah. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
I don't know why I did that.
I don't know
This is
either.
Oral Hygiene is just the podcast where I do the more whack intros for whatever reason.
Intro.
Introduction.
Wait.
Wait for what? I don't want to wait.
Introduction.
Okay, there we go. I don't have one of those. Well, actually, all I need to do is plug in a delay, or I could easily do that, but I'm too lazy. Is it weird if I did it with an analog pedal?
Maybe.
Hmm. What is that? Is that the Hall of Fame reverb?
Maybe. No, it's the Roland VE20.
Whoa, the end was fun. Space Echo? There's Satan for us.
No, it looks like a Space Echo, but it's red.
Okay.
It's very good.
Okay. Anyway, getting on to today's movie, it's Mission Third Planet, Creatures of the Land, where we learn about all the creatures of the land.
That we did through a ViewMaster robot and a guy who sort of came across like he read a bunch of nature material and remembered some of it.
Well, why don't you is that your summary or do you want to go in a little more detail?
I don't really know.
I mean, there's
Somehow
space.
a guy comes to look at animals. Somehow he knows certain things about them, but not others. But weirdly knows their names and the etymology and what kind of what a bunch of things are called about them. And then a child sees him and he runs, and
Where does he
everyone's
come
glad.
from? Where does he come from? Why is he there?
Uranus?
Yeah, okay. Did they
I don't
say
know.
he's from Uranus?
I
Okay.
don't think so. I
Well,
don't
you're
think they said where he's from.
well, you're leaving the money shot. An alien is attacked in a or not attacked.
The
An
money shot
alien
is
is
on Uranus.
an alien is caught in a meteor shower and crash lands on Earth. Stranded, he begins to catalog all of the creatures of the land. There, that goes in the
Yep.
TV guide,
And he
right?
ends. He finishes. He gets all of them.
And then all of his friends are like, "Oh, you're so cool."
It's like
Alien
Pokemon,
friends.
but he doesn't catch anything.
No, he just looks at them and gets confused about them. Um, this is very much in that strain of like the kids only like that damn Star Wars, so we need to try and make this look like Star Wars.
There are times when I think the ship looks kind of cool. The aliens look like ass, though.
You know why the ship looks cool?
Is it just a Star Wars model?
No, it's not.
Is it a Battlestar Galactica or Space 1999 model? Or
Bingo. I don't know if you can see it. It's like
you're
they just
showing me part of it. Yes.
it's like they just got the Eagle One model, right? And then put that on the
Yeah.
screen.
Good for them. Good, great move.
Yeah. I mean they didn't they could have like colored it like gold or something first, you know? Because that dude was colored gold.
They
He,
used all their paint on the dude.
he was in gold paint, gold face.
Do you think he died because he got painted?
Yes. Just like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Good for them.
By the way, she lived to a ripe old age, so
I know
that's pretty
I
good.
know she was
She
showing
was
up on TV in like 1980.
she was on Sesame Street and they never showed it again because it terrified all the children.
Good for them.
Sesame Street should occasionally terrify children, like the one where the grocer guy dies and they all have to like confront his death. They don't just like he doesn't just like stop showing up. They're like, oh, we all have to spend an entire episode all bummed out that this guy's dead now.
I remember there was some little segment they did. It was just about like driving in downtown New York, obviously, and it like terrified me as a kid because it looked so scary to drive in New York. There was
What's
signs everywhere.
what's because you're used to seeing nice, clean Sesame Street, right? Which is like this nice fake idealized like Brooklyn block or something, and then you're suddenly confronted with real gritty 70s New York.
Yeah, basically, it was like who knows how many people died traversing those streets,
The New
not the
York that Ed Koch
non-Sesame
wanted you to
streets.
visit.
Come here and die in front of a car, you moke. Ah.
I think my high school class trip was like right on the tail end of scary New York. For some reason, they put us up in like a hotel like right off of Times Square, and then the class president went out to buy a fake ID and got mugged.
I'm sorry, that's not funny, but it is.
It's totally funny. That's why you're laughing at it.
Yeah,
Oh,
irony.
and of course, after we get the first they in the mothership they identify the son's name as Sun. I mean, come on, you can at least call it Soul or something, right?
Is it dumb that we call this planet Earth?
Well, yeah, it's in Star Trek they have to start calling it Terran, right? We're Terrans.
I think I like that better. Can we just be Terra?
Sure. I mean Terran, I think. Terra. I don't
We
know
could
if it
all
should
be
be
terrorists.
ooh,
Ha ha
Terranists.
ha.
No, okay,
Terror.
I guess it's Terra is the planet name. Terrans are the people that like hang out there. So sure. Um
There was something. God, what was it?
in the
Yeah, one of the new Star Wars thing. There's an episode of Andor where they specifically, it's like the Empire is relaying a message, and there's sort of like two humans
they
running,
don't
and it's
they
like,
don't
oh
have
yeah,
humans.
right, I guess they do.
Yeah, okay. Human. I guess
Human.
that doesn't tell you you're from like any certain planet, perhaps.
I
Um
don't feel like Star Trek ever says humans,
speak
except
speak
for
Sure, they do. The human
Ferengi
adventure
say
is just
human.
beginning or something.
It's just like you say that you spotted somebody. You don't specifically say it was a human.
I'm not sure about that, but they do say
Mm.
Terran. Now, speaking of Star Trek, they after they call the sun, then they go into like a full minute of like pointless techno babble that they, someone just like spit words on a page, and now kids have to deal with that for like a whole minute.
I gotta
But
be honest. I already sort of zoned out when that happened.
of course you did,
This
because
is this is a
I'm sure.
very hard to pay attention to
But
film.
space is trying its hardest to make you pay attention to it.
I started just thinking about how cool the title cards look like on the robot when it was like complexity.
Now, in your lame Star Trek models, his scout ship is a wingless TIE fighter, which looks completely messed up. Like a TIE fighter without wings, that just doesn't look right at all.
That's how you know that they come in peace.
Is this guy like, so he's like alien Aristotle, right? Because it wasn't that Aristotle's jam to like catalog everything.
Uh, or like Henry David Thoreau or something.
Aristotle predates him. I think
Okay,
Thoreau at
sure.
least had everything cataloged already, right? He just was like hanging out the cabin or something.
Okay, yeah, I
Says
don't
the
have a
guy
whole
that
lot of knowledge about who cataloged a bunch of things,
says
but
says the guy who never read Walden Pond, but
mm, I
um,
don't think I might have read it. I don't even know.
so this is kind of like a '70s sci-fi Walden Pond, I assume, since I didn't read the book.
Yes, I suppose so. We can go ahead and make that the summary.
That yes, okay, good. So and both of them, Thoreau, well, Thoreau, Aristotle, and this alien. That's more than both. That's three people, one alien, two people. Does that mean they're like super OCD?
Yeah, this guy definitely had some issues. I don't entirely. He seemed kind of amazed but bored, and he's like,
He's
"Wow, I can't believe these animals fly," and they're kind of. And the strangest thing to me is that I think arguably or objectively the most interesting biology on Earth is the butterfly caterpillar thing, right? That's that's like the weirdest thing we have to offer, right? I mean,
not
that's weirder
go
than a
deep sea.
platypus.
I'm deep sea. I'm sure there's
Okay,
weirder stuff.
yeah, like but that you can see with the naked eye on land. We'll just
Tardigrades,
go
those are
ahead.
pretty weird.
Tardigrades are weird, but like I don't think that guy's not really smart enough to see tardigrades. I don't think.
He's smarter than the Transformers, though,
Maybe,
because the Transformers assume that the inhabitants of the planet were cars, where this guy at least figures out like there's some animals.
but are we stupid for assuming that cars were not robots?
Well, we'll talk about that when we get to the educational film, The Talking Car.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be something to consider. Is this car sentient or not? And what does that? What are
Mm.
the implications?
If one car is sentient, then shouldn't you start assuming that all of them are?
Yeah,
It's just like,
it is amazing how his walk through the forest is also like a walk through evolution, right?
yeah, kind of.
Because he starts with lizards and cold blooded things, and then only once he's fully found all of the cold blooded animals does he begin to find the warm blooded animals. And he
And then
comes
he
up with
finds monkeys.
the exact same names that
Oh,
we
yeah, I
have for
skipped
them,
ahead.
unless we're getting
Yeah, that was the craziest part to me was this. How did he know it was called a frog? That's insane.
well, see, until 1979 they there was no name for that. This movie actually created all of the names for these things. That's why it's so
That's
important.
that's incredible that they've actually documented that.
I know, yeah,
Like,
it's
what are the odds?
isn't this the video that the Air Force showed a few years ago when they're like, we're going to tell you everything we know about UFOs?
Is this, yes, is this part of full disclosure?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
origin of the word amphibian and complexity
that's
and
right. I guess he's still kind of dumb because he didn't notice the people, or he's very smart because he hasn't noticed the people. That actually might be the case.
I think he was the smartest thing he did was when he saw the little kid he ran
Yeah, I
because
feel like he.
it didn't seem like that was what he was going to do. It seemed like he'd probably be like take a picture of him and then have the robot be like complexity.
What do you think you noticed first, the birds or the frogs? I feel like I'd notice the birds first because they're in your field of vision and they're moving, right? Whereas the frog, you have to look for them.
Yeah, maybe it's just it was just dumb luck that he happened upon a frog and it happened
Maybe
upon a swamp first.
maybe he started from the ground, just like got in the dirt, and then kind of like moved up. So he didn't really look at the sky for some time.
Maybe that's procedure is you have to start with the ground and then move upwards.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, this guy is a pro. He's keeping his scientific detachment despite his excitement. Um,
Oh, I forgot that earlier in the film he actually says something that's like a prime directive where he's like not supposed to interfere with life. So basically, remembering that, it's even weirder that he just ran away when he saw a kid. Like imagine if on Star Trek they go to an alien planet and they find life, they stumble upon life, and then they just run away from it.
didn't
Did that
they did that
happen?
with the Horta,
That's probably a good idea, right?
but then they came back and mind melded with it. So this guy
Hmm.
just ran off for good, didn't he? It's like mission over.
Yep.
Because I thought the kid was
The
going to get probed. I assumed the kid was going to get
invisible
probed.
himself. I thought the kid was he was just gonna be like, oh, interesting. And then the kid was gonna talk and then he was gonna be like, it makes mouth sounds.
Would this film be better if he spoke in an alien language and he did give everything alien names, like
Yes. Yes, it would. It absolutely would.
I guess you could redub it as such and like just do a little digital editing on the title cards.
I'll call this a blob.
But no, all of it's alien.
This is how you fix this film.
In the
Is you
Phantom
do
Menace.
that, you fix the film. You fix the film by cut out all the animals that you just get like a glimpse at. Just make them focus on just a few animals. Give them weird names, and then when he sees the kid, he kills the kid.
Okay, why is he killing the kid? Jimmy's such an idiot.
Because no witnesses. That's why.
Okay.
Jimmy was just imagining it.
See the way he was, like observing the animals, like he was kind of obvious, right? Like it's like the animals could tell he was there. So I thought he might like start spaghetting, like Tim and Eric style.
that, that kid was like that kid's life is probably ruined now, It's like he's never going to like he's gonna think that he imagined that the rest of his life. He's gonna end up in therapy. He's gonna start drinking.
Like that Brazilian guy that banged an Alturian or something.
Yeah, what was that guy's name?
I might have said his name if I remembered it, but I
Yeah.
think I think people generally know ufology or are aware of this one by now.
Yeah, he probably doesn't really need that dredged up. He's probably got it
So
rough enough as
so
it is.
if you met him, I guess you wouldn't. He'd be like, "My name's blah blah blah," and you'd be like, "Sure," and not make that connection, even though you know his story. You don't connect it with the person in front of you.
Yeah, I feel like if somebody like that wants you to know there's that story, they'd probably tell you a
I
lot.
was this would have been a good sci-fi overlay for Bambi, I think.
So where do you put Bambi in it? Like
Um,
Bambi stumbles upon the alien and he kills Bambi's mother.
you mean the
Is that
alien
it?
stumbles across Bambi and kills Bambi's mother?
No, it's Bambi's fault.
Right. That his mother was vaporized by an alien.
Yes, absolutely. He should have known us not to stick his nose into the forest.
So yeah, that's cool. Um, but yeah, that I just what was the I guess I don't think I did you do one of the oh what was her name? The woman who was a safety guard and a lawyer and a alien
Yeah. Yes. It was I did one and Scott did the other.
safety woman. That's it. This definitely
Safety woman who is
this is
also she had like two secret identities, I think.
yeah, because she was like her job was like she had a cover job to cover up her real job, but that was not counting the superhero one, so it doesn't make sense. So I'm just a crossing guard, but she's actually like an architect or a lawyer or something, super white collar, right? But then that was
Yeah.
like her first secret identity, and then she has two secret identities. So you have to wonder if the other lawyers get to know that she's also a safety woman or not.
Do you think that this alien is also a lawyer or something like that?
Well, I mean, because of his classifying nature, I suppose he could,
I bet like I bet everyone hates this guy. Like, do you see how everybody was like, "Oh, we're so glad you're back," but what was his problem? He's all lost.
And then they're like, okay, we'll show you to your new quarters, and that's just like the airlock.
I mean, they probably just don't sit next to him in the cafeteria.
Maybe they came from like a super future version of Moonbase Alpha, and that's why they show up in an eagle.
What?
I'm going back to
So,
Space 1999 here.
yeah, I
Like
don't
they were on
know.
the moon so long
Like
that
they're from the moon and like but I mean, if they're from the future, they would know what frog was. What if
like
they're from
like
so far in the future that there are no frogs?
like Martin Landau and Barbara Bain would like no longer be part of this. They're long dead, right? So
Yeah,
they
because
have like they have the corrupted data tapes, those big blocky ones, right? Not, like one book fits on one tape, that sort of thing. That's all they
hmm
have. So it has like the word frog in it, but it doesn't have like a picture of a frog. Or it only has like a, like a it's like the blind man feeling an elephant, right? And describing it.
To be honest, I guess I've been watching too much Twilight Zone because I honestly thought, oh, it's gonna turn out that all the humans are dead. Like I was pretty surprised when humans showed up. I was like, I thought it was gonna be the twist is that all the animals are alive because all the humans are dead. And I forget that in the '70s we didn't think about things like nature can only thrive after we're all dead.
Well, if it was sci-fi and not like an actual sci-fi flick and not like an educational film, that could be the case. But
Well, I mean, what's more educational than turns out everyone died? That's
that
pretty educational.
that would have been great in a third grade class for sure. What?
Yeah, it's like see what you're missing when you see what you're allowed to happen with your death.
One of the things in this film, and we've talked about that elusive educational film. There's still something in the first grade I saw that completely traumatized me, and I haven't seen it since. And I want to see it.
What is
I
it?
actually no, I don't think I don't think it so much traumatized me as made 6-year-old little Matt like want to take psychedelics sort of thing. Um, something about
So
a bunch of kids in a desert, and then they come across like a giant big top.
that sounds scary.
Yeah, yeah, that's my point. It's super trippy, right? So
I'll
this
tell you that I'm not alone on this. So, like the only educational film that really traumatized me was the Donald Duck fire video, because that was the thing where Disney, Disney was sort of able to turn stuff pretty dark. It was like the did you ever see that? The
I thought you were going to start talking about Der Fruer's face, so no.
I don't know. Yeah, it's darker than that, I think. Or at least it seemed like it. And yeah, it was just it was like a realistic dark turn when Donald Duck's house caught on fire because he like
Does Donald Duck
plugged.
burn to death? Is Daisy a victim?
Nobody dies, but his stuff gets all destroyed.
Oh, I know what traumatized me like that. It was the episode of Webster where he burns down their apartment.
Wow.
And but
I
then
can't I
but then
can't
the next season they live in like a mansion, so I guess it was okay.
I can't think about Webster without thinking about how that show was just the people who pitched the show were like the old white couple that were like the start supposed to be the entire focal point of the show, and then the network was just like, how about we put this kid with you, and then the show's about him, and he basically took over the whole thing, and I think it kind of destroyed them. It sort of happened with Urkel and Family Matters as
Oh
well.
yeah, true. Let's see. We got Donald Duck Fire Chief from 1940, Donald's Fire Survival Plan version 1 from 1965. How
Probably the
to
second.
How to Have an Accident in the Home. That's a good title. How to Have an Accident in the Home. Yeah.
Ah,
I think it's that one because it shows them in like a burnt out house.
yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, so I think it's How to Have an Accident in the Home. So I'll put that on the short list. Um,
Sure.
I guess
Oh,
we
yeah. Here, I'm looking. Whoa, what? I'm looking at like the thing
so
that says Donald's
painterly.
Fire Survival Plan, and it has a bunch of live action Mouseketeer stuff in it.
That's not what you want. I think you want the 1956 one. But yeah, it seems we've already jettisoned the third planet thing, Mission Third Planet. Did I even get the title right? I'm not looking at my notes. Yes. Um, I think we've already jettisoned this one out the airlock, unless you wanted to say something else.
Well, the kids, kid's still alive.
Those damn
Lucky
kids.
for him.
Yeah, he
Lucky
won't
for
be
him.
so
It
lucky
is.
next time when he meets the smart aliens that know to leave no witnesses.
Well, maybe in the future he'll learn to not leave witnesses.
Right. That'll happen when they go to planet Vulcan. Yes.
Well,
Vulcus. Does it have
anyway,
some? It is Vulcan, right? They didn't because Klingons is confusing because it's like Kronos. It's like, well, that's kind of a different word.
well, I kind of think it's racist to just name people after the planet they're from.
Oh, okay. You don't want to be an Earthian? Well, Earthlings. We have Earthlings, right? Is
I want
that
to be a
racist?
terrorist.
Yes, yes, that's the best. Um, as for this podcast, it's Oral Hygiene. You can support this and other podcasts we do on Patreon at Podcastius, where we talk about sci-fi films, at Matt and Luke Sci-Fi Sanctuary, the aforementioned Twilight Zone at Time Enough Podcast. And there's some video game ones with Luke Loves Pokemon, Monster Mash about Monster Hunter, and the Game Show, which is four British dudes screaming insults at each other. I think I covered the bases there.
Probably.
Yep, I finally have the
Did you
little
say
page.
Time Enough podcast for Twilight Zone?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I have like a little cassette tape that plays in my head now. It's great.
That's what you want.
There's a little man in my head. He's telling
A
me what to
sign that
do. Yeah.
a sign that says complexity.
Okay. So you're going to name a new animal species that you've just discovered. What is the name?
But chipmunk.
Butt chipmunk?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like something they would have done in a 70s club. Okay, that one's down.
It makes more sense to do these separately, but I really thought you were gonna just do them both at the same time because there's like kind of not a whole lot of stuff here.
Yeah, it could be 20 minutes. It's fine. Oh, we used to do these all the time, remember?
Yeah, it's true.
Remember
But at
back
some
in the
point you started trying to combine two at once, but I guess when we were combining two at once, they were like three
that was,
minute videos.
that was just last time also, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because no, you just sent me the two computers. I was like, these are so similar, I can't like separate them and talk about
Uh
them.
well, that's one that was like let's make a sandwich and let's something
Oh
else,
yeah, yeah, those
pizza.
yeah, okay, those are kind of a weird combo, but I'm like, what the hell? It might as well just be like 20-minute squibs. That's what last week's was. So
Yup.
get into the next one. Oh, and let me leave a few seconds of silence to spot, and then I'll start.
Right.
Welcome. It's Oral Hygiene. It is where we talk about educational films, experimental films, caught films, and the like. This is Matt here. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Mark.
I didn't say hello, Mark, did I? It was just like hello, Mark, and then you respond to that. And that's your response.
Say hello, Mark.
No, that makes you seem even less sharp. Okay. You sent me this film. No, I sent you this film, didn't I?
You sent me this film.
On Halloween or the day after Halloween, which was too bad because this seemed like it would have been a good Halloween educational film. But here we are talking about The Haunted Mouth.
Halloween is forever.
How haunted is your mouth?
Um, it's haunted by probably like 15 fillings and 9 crowns.
Yeah, I have to go to the dentist tomorrow morning. So what can I say?
I have genetically bad teeth, unfortunately.
Okay, so so your mouth is haunted by Satan or
I,
the
I
or the
think
Joker or the
B
Joker.
plaque. His name is B plaque.
Yes,
B plaque.
Caesar B. Plaque.
Bernie plaque.
Yeah. Um, can you tell us what happens in this film if you're a TV Guide employee?
You go into a room, first person style, and plaque yells at you and taunts you.
and puts you in a mid episode trap
and
of some
and then
kind.
teaches you how to brush your teeth because he's mad that it's too easy to destroy your teeth.
But then he gives you like really specific information on how to reverse that.
Which makes me think that he's lying.
Well, oh yeah, I was thinking maybe he's like in that conspiracy theory, like was it Revelation of the Method, where the powerful elites have to let you know what they're doing, like in some way before they do it.
If that's a conspiracy theory, is that they'll just tell you?
But it's like always something really obscure, like it's in like some TV show that like aired once and then was never shown again. They're like, well, we told them, so we're karma free. That's the idea. So I feel like maybe B Plaque is following that kind of game. Like if I give them information and then their teeth rot out, like my karma is still like solid.
Jeez.
So this is actually a pretty deep philosophical educational film when you think about it that way.
That's kind of scary that like the embodiment of plaque has karma,
Well,
isn't
he's
it?
got a name. He doesn't seem to have a body or anything, or he's invisible. What is it?
I think it's just there's a ton of plaque and it's there's enough of it to move a chair, but you can't see it.
I think it's more like Cesar Romero is like, you can call me and you can record the call as I read the lines. I will phone it in for you, but I will be damned if I will be on the set of your educational film.
I bet they made a stupid costume for him and it looked stupid, so they were like, let's just make him visible.
What,
I
stupider than the 60s Joker costume? I mean, he wouldn't shave his mustache for that, right?
I mean the no, I guess that this has to have been planned out with him being invisible because there's so much like drawers opening and things like that. Like you can't just show up on set and have all that stuff happening. You have to plan it out.
No, you're probably right. I just like to think that Cesar Romero was difficult to work with.
Yeah, maybe it's just he just kept like, "You idiot!"
I,
Just
I don't
kept
know that.
yelling.
He could have been a very charming man. I don't know. I'm just guessing here.
You're guessing that a guy who played the Joker was problematic. That's pretty safe assumption, I think.
Was Jack Nicholson problematic on set?
I think he was problematic somewhere. Maybe not like Heath Ledger, not like Jared Leto problematic. But I didn't can't really say anything bad about Heath Ledger because he just pretty much took it all out on himself. But
Yeah, it's not a real Joker unless there's a face tattoo.
he
Twisted.
and Joaquin Phoenix just did that whole like weird tour where he pretended to be insane but wasn't
I told you about the time
before.
I tried to watch the Joker, right?
No.
I got 15 minutes in and then just switched to Taxi Driver
Yeah.
because it's so well, and that was before the Joker became like kind of just a problematic movie in general. Because didn't that get adopted by like every incel in the world or something?
No, it wasn't really that cut and dried. And I saw it in the theater and I thought it was fine. It's sort of like I'd rather watch a sort of a Scorsese ripoff than like I don't know.
Well, since you watched the whole
Uh
movie, did I take the right course of action by stopping it after 15 minutes and just putting on Taxi Driver instead?
I mean, I love Taxi Driver, but you can really watch both and they're pretty different.
Oh, okay. I this yeah. Once De Niro shows up, I was just like, why am I not watching Taxi Driver? You know?
I mean, it is about a guy who sort of is insane and then pops off and there's a heavy-handed message in it. However, it's still different.
Hmm. There's no Batman to stop that Joker though. And
Uh, you do.
and
They can't resist. They can't resist putting like the Waynes in there.
yeah,
They just couldn't help themselves.
and Travis Bickle like wouldn't really make a good rogues gallery figure, even
Do you
with the
want to?
mohawk.
Do you want to guess what the movie the Waynes were walking out of when they got murdered in this?
The Antonio Banderas Zorro movie.
Close.
Okay, what is it?
Zorro the Gay Blade,
Oh, okay, that's cool.
70s.
Yeah. Oh, because 70s. Got it. Okay. I mean,
Let's
it
say
has to be.
close. And maybe it's not close. I don't know.
It has to be.
It's the
It has.
Zorro.
It has to be some. Well, Zorro. It's got to be some Zorro. There aren't that many Zorro movies. It's like it's one of those things where, it's like the late '80s, early '90s, where all the filmmakers were like, we loved westerns growing up. Everyone's gonna love westerns now, and everyone was pretty cold on the westerns, right? So it's kind of like
Peop
Zorro. Every few years, it's like Zorro, he's iconic. We need to bring him back, and kind of fades out relatively quickly.
I really liked the Antonio Banderas
Yeah, it's good.
Zorro.
I
I
think there
called
was
it
a,
Zora.
I think there was a sequel that ate it, but yeah, that first one is good.
Really? Yeah,
Uh,
I
because
it
I
was
think
one
it's
of those sort of Tarantino. It was like sort of from the Tarantino era, but without being too much of a rip off of Tarantino.
yeah, I certainly didn't feel like it was in the same. I didn't feel like I was watching a Tarantino when I saw that. I think that was The Mask of Zorro, but okay, well, yeah,
Yeah.
we're still talking about weird figures. Romero got us on a thing, but let's think more about teeth. Oh, the movie starts and this movie's 1974 and it's got like a John Carpenter score, and John Carpenter hadn't really gotten rolling yet, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Well, yeah, but I mean, John Carpenter didn't come up in a vacuum.
True, true. I mean, we already had. I guess we had like Wendy Carlos doing a Clockwork Orange and stuff already. So,
Yep.
but I thought, I always like to hear
It,
bleepity bloop.
I mean, it felt edgy, which I appreciated, and scary. This is kind of scary.
What is it's a haunted mouth? Although I still wrote in my notes, is this the world's shittiest fright? You know.
I know it's my teeth. It's I
Oh,
don't know if you went to a house and there was just a bunch of teeth and like an invisible man was just screaming at you about teeth. That's kind of scary,
yeah,
right?
Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, they got a haunted house dark ride, and there's one room with like mirrors and like eyes like bouncing up and down, and then they're bouncing and that room always creeps me out. I'm
Wow.
like, well, if you do it with teeth, it'd still be pretty creepy.
That sounds awesome.
Oh yeah, if you ever make it to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware for anyone, you have to ride their haunted house attraction. It's like the weirdest, wonkiest dark ride possible.
That sounds more weirder than Garfield's Nightmare.
It's better put together than Garfield's Nightmare, and they maintain it. So
Yeah, the Garfield's Nightmare was taken out, so I can't ever ride that one, unfortunately.
okay, well, it's Funland, and they have like a precipice. What is it? A steeple, and there's like this creepy clown waving to you from the inside the steeple, and I think it's
Nice.
supposed to be like, hey, it's Funland. Here's a clown, but it's like one of those super creepy clowns. So
It's Funland. Yeah, it's yeah, there's like a floating knife in this that stabs a dentist and
so B Plaque is murdering dentists.
I think so, yeah.
Sort of like how all those holistic doctors were eating it a few years ago.
Um
That was B Plaque.
oh man.
Yeah.
I got distracted looking at my notes because I was trying to find the part where he says where it keeps showing bullet points and he keeps saying, "Will you?" That was actually pretty scary.
You will do
Will
it.
you? Will no, he says you won't do it. Will you? Will you? Will you? But like slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just saving time there. I get it. Um, although
I
this
don't
would
know.
be see, that's why I was thinking
Repetition is scary sometimes.
that's why I was thinking the haunted house, because maybe they call it the haunted mansion. I don't remember. But it dates from like the '60s originally, so they might have just called it mansion in Rehoboth Beach. But this is more like that lame theme park attraction that you have to like walk through. You just walk through sets of teeth and stuff, and teeth lining
Yeah,
tables and all that
fun
sort of stuff.
house.
Yeah, yeah. But the teeth fun house, sure.
I recently saw was it a like Toby Hooper film called Funhouse that was like the 80s, like right before he did Poltergeist, I guess.
Mm. But was any of the teeth damage in this creepier than Lisa's future with the orthodontist on The Simpsons?
I mean, it's no, it's less scary than that.
The big book of British teeth.
Can you do that? Like, could you even just do show something that horrible in 1974? Probably not. It's like
I,
even the whatever the scary ghost teeth weren't really that like messed up.
I do have a flashcard for Smile at the school where I work, and it's got a picture of Cesar Romero's Joker laughing, and it
Mm,
tends to like actually disturb some kids, which is usually entertaining. Unfortunately,
awesome.
Unfortunately, I think my card that for Prince that had like fro prints on it, like 2014 era Afro Prince. That one seems to have been replaced by something that makes more sense, but
Ah.
that's too bad. Oh, what was it? You know the Prince. One of his last albums had the song "Breakdown." Have you heard that?
Probably. It's hard to keep all the later stuff straight, but I've heard most
At
of
the
it, or if
at
not
the
all of it.
at the end, he just starts going to like screaming histotronics and stuff.
Ah.
Like it's one of his best like crazy scream minutes ever. So there I still have a flashcard with like Singer and it has a picture of like Prince on it. So that one didn't get replaced because that one actually does make sense. So I just like on my phone start playing that part of the song, and the kids like that a lot too.
Is it weird that he never became king?
Well, who he didn't know who the king was? Was that James
Did
Brown?
Is it because he didn't make it to 73 like Prince Charles did?
Make it to 73.
That's how old
Oh,
King
age
Charles.
73. It's age 73. Sorry, I was
Sorry,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I was trying to work. I was thinking the year 1973, probably because this movie's 1974. I was like, what? Huh? What does that mean?
He didn't make it. You're in an alternate reality where Prince died in 1973.
um, fluoride. This is fluoride propaganda.
I was gonna say that the scariest, like the actual scariest thing about this are just the YouTube comments.
Yeah, because well, I don't know, because when I was like 6 or 7, I had like this fluoride stuff to put on my teeth, and then it put holes in my front teeth, and now I have caps on my front teeth.
Whoa, that is
Yeah,
scary.
so I'm not really a big fan of the fluoride. I
There
don't.
was some toothpaste that this one of the last dentists I had gave to me that was specifically like a small tube of toothpaste that said it was supposed to repair enamel, and then like I had two more teeth break while I was using it, and I stopped using it. I was like, this is weird.
I mean, is it that much of a conspiracy theory to think that the industrialists of the 1930s like, hey, we got all this toxic sludge. Why don't we say it's good for your teeth?
I mean, I think there is evidence
For what?
fluoride being good for your teeth.
Oh, okay, I had a bad run-in with fluoride, so yeah, I'm
I mean, there's
perfectly.
also coincidence,
I ate
but
lots of sweets yesterday because we just had
mm,
vacation, so everyone brought in all the souvenirs. So for a week, you just eat lots of crap.
you
Okay,
see that?
it's a mirror image, but pumpkin pie Kit Kats. But remember, in
Yes.
Japan, we have like every kind of Kit Kat. So it's just like there's
I
some Kit.
know, but that's why it's so much more important for us to like seize all the Kit Kats we possibly can, not including paying $8 for every variety of Japanese Kit Kat that shows up at the the Asian grocery store.
Oh, is
Which
that
I
where you got? Did you get that one from
no, no,
there?
this is from Walmart, but I'm saying like we do get things like whatever salted sakura or like egg flavor or whatever kind of crazy. We get crazy Japanese flavors here.
Do
There's
you
always some matcha ones.
can you get dark chocolate Kit Kat on the regs like anywhere?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, that's good because that would be a
The
bummer if you couldn't.
the ones that the ones that we have kind of ubiquitously that are particularly good are like there are some they have now that are sort of just like half they're like half strawberry, half chocolate, and there's some that are half mint, half chocolate, and the mint ones taste like Andes kind of. And
Oh, I was
sometimes they'll have a flavor like Fruit Loop flavor.
oh, that's weird. I
It's
was
pretty good.
eyeballing. They had some discount Andes candies, and I haven't had
Mm.
at the Donkey, which is a store, and I haven't had those for years. But in the end, I didn't get it because I'm like, then you're stuck with mint breath forever.
Uh, the thing about those with me is that I think having all of them individually wrapped just makes me eat more for some reason.
What was the thing that Romero kept saying that disturbed you again? You won't.
Will you? You? Will you?
Okay.
Will you? Because
Okay.
it was at the end, there was just a list of things that you should do with your mouth. He said, you won't do it. Will you?
Okay. Because the one I wrote
Will
down.
you?
Oh, do I
It
want to
just,
restart my computer now in the middle of a podcast? No. Why can't you just schedule when it's going to do it? Because it always comes up with a message, and you're like, I'm in the middle of something, dude.
it's funny, Windows is not designed at all for the things that we do now with it. It's really funny. It's almost like they didn't think about it at all. Do you remember like up until maybe just a few years ago, like even Windows 10 was like when you search for files and it gave you an option to search for file size, like the gigantic option was like over 128 megabytes or something like that. Like
But
the file sizes like made no sense at all.
I believe I've told you before that the computer I'm talking to you on right now is running Windows 7.
So then you you definitely have that probably, unless they
Okay.
updated Windows 7. It's like you search for a file and the size options are like there's like tiny and then medium and they're like whatever, five different types of sizes and the largest size is like something like between 500 megabytes and 1 gigabyte. I'm just
Oh,
like,
well, I guess I've never searched for that, so it's cool. Anyway, the whole point in the first place, before I got distracted by that, do you want to reboot in the middle of a podcast note? Was the I wrote down the quote that really creeped me out a little bit, which was like, "Scrub inside with the tip of your brush."
there's a lot of like weirdly horny stuff in
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I wrote, "Oh, don't make me horny." These are like some Buffalo Bill-esque instructions, that or like an unsexy porno mag.
But also just it felt like he was just gonna materialize behind the little kid and slit their throat.
Yeah, well, he's the Joker. That's what the Joker does.
Does the Joker do that? I guess he does. Only if
The
it's Robin.
doesn't he do that in Return of the Dark Knight or whatever in the fun house? Is he just going around cracking people's necks and stuff?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't really read that.
Oh, gotta do that. Dark
Yeah.
Knight Returns, excuse me.
Dark Knight Returns. I know what you're talking about.
You watch the movie version if you want, but yeah, I mean,
I haven't
in
done
the
it.
end, yeah, it's still probably the comic books, probably the keystone. But that has Michael Emerson doing the Joker, who has been on Lost, and he's
Hmm.
kind of my favorite Joker now.
Interesting.
Did you ever
I
watch? Did you ever watch Lost?
I watched about 3 episodes of it and I fell off. I didn't really get
Oh,
into
okay.
it.
So you didn't get the Ben or anything.
No.
Do you know Michael
Three
Emerson?
episodes. Three
Anyway,
episodes. I don't
yeah.
remember it.
No, he doesn't show up till
It
season
was
two,
early.
but I think. But anyway,
It,
he just has a very calm voice like this with just a hint of menace. So it
hmm.
really works well as the Joker because Mark Hamill or Cesar Romero just go like all out whack, right?
Yeah, and John DiMaggio and Under the Red Hood. If you
Yeah, they
saw
just
that,
ah ha ha. I
he was
did, but
basically Bender.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
Bender going, ha, 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 ha.
I guess that's why I like the Michael Emerson one, just because he
Mm.
doesn't really yell or anything. He just is going to do talk like this, like you're gonna have a cup of tea with him, and then he's gonna throw like a shuriken in your eye.
Yeah, the
Although he gets
looks
the
like
shuriken.
the Batman Joker is going to take sort of that path. I don't know if you saw that deleted scene from it, from the Batman.
Oh, right, right, right. Yeah.
He was just kind of like this, like his face is all messed up, and it's kind of just, uh, I'm gonna speak, and then he
Mm,
laughed some.
eh,
Huh.
I don't know. I
Could
think
be, it's like it could be good, but also it's sort of like it's really kind of criminal that Batman has such a good rogues gallery and they just keep doing Joker, 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 Joker over and over again. They have lots of options.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, just yeah, if they did the version of Mr. Freeze from the animated series, dude, people would love that.
They
Like
just make
maybe they're just afraid because that did it so well. Like, don't
yeah.
you kind of think so? Like, I think that's like one of the best villain things that anybody has ever done, and it's like I think that was still before Batman and Robin did it.
Well, I'll just whisper. They should stop making Batman now.
Sure, I have no
I,
issue with that either.
I mean,
Stop it all. Okay, wait, but I do want the musical sequel to The Joker with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, though.
that's not a Batman movie. It's a Joker movie.
Yep, I'll take
Okay.
it.
I mean, you can have that loophole if you want.
It
From
might be absolute garbage because like all they really have to do to make it bad is to make it a jukebox musical, which I hate
oh,
more
I'd be
than
disappointed if it wasn't a piece of crap.
they just need to write music for it. Like get like get just I guess just get Lady Gaga to write the music. I don't know. It's like just don't make it like the Joker and Lady Gaga singing Nirvana songs in the snow or whatever. That would be terrible. But what do I know? What do I know what people want? I don't know what people want.
Romantic songs in the snow, like with Laz Merman. What's his I forgot his name
Baz
now.
Luhrmann,
Yeah, oh, that was what I was gonna say. Good for me. Except it didn't come out, did it? Yeah, do it kind of that style in the snow.
sure. But I mean, he made Moulin Rouge, which was a jukebox musical, which I hated
Yeah.
for being a jukebox. I hated it for being a jukebox musical. I didn't hate the film for being just whatever film it was. It was just it was the film that taught me I hate jukebox musicals.
No, someone put on Across the Universe for me, which people seem to like that movie. I got 5 minutes in, I was like, fuck this.
No, I don't. I'm not going anywhere near that.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Because they're like, you like the
Like
Beatles, you're like this. I'm like, no, I don't like the Beatles being done this way. This is terrible.
context matters. Even Yellow Submarine kind of just stretched the meanings of those songs they
Oh, of
used
course.
in it. You
That
know,
was
it's like
fine. Well, the problem with Across the
it's
Universe is it's all show tune. They turn all the Beatles songs in like, Broadway musical songs.
ugh,
Yeah. It's like
ugh.
I think I told you this is I would tell people this back in the 90s, so it's a little dated of a reference now, but so my what were my nightmare albums? One of them was the three tenors doing Elvis covers.
I'm
Racing.
imagining it. It is funny.
Yeah.
Don't be cruel.
Yeah, it's that was a big nightmare of mine. I had a second one I'd spit out too. I forgot that. So I guess the three tenors doing Elvis was like my greatest nightmare. I mean, now you just get you get someone like Groban on it. That would suck too. Although he doing on Tim and Eric, it wasn't Josh Groban doing the songs of um man, I can't remember anyone's name today. Oh, horse and buggy ride.
Horse and buggy ride. I don't know.
It's the child singer who's abused by his brother. Little Casey, was that it? Casey and his brother. Casey and his brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And then they
Yes.
had a fake commercial where Josh Groban was doing like the covers of Casey and his brother. And that was hysterical. So
This is what I really want to happen, but I can't really do it because I just can't do it. Is I want someone to do a version of Hamilton where it's just trap music and it's just Hamilton. It just has like Uzis and it's just like shooting people and it's just like gangsters fuck. Like
oh
that's
okay.
what I really want. I
And
want
that,
I want just like the like I can't I say I can't make it because I'm not black at all. But so I would like someone to do that. If you're listening, just take the idea. It's yours.
I don't know anything about well Hamilton for obvious reasons made zero inroads into Japan, right? So I haven't heard it
Mm.
or seen it. I did listen to a podcast that featured the guy that wrote it, but the point wasn't that about Hamilton at all. So
I find him kind of insufferable to hear talk, but I I admit he was a good songwriter. He did Moana,
oh right. Oh yeah, okay. I've heard I saw Moana several times. I think that was the last
really good
film that
songs.
I think that was the last film that my daughter really wanted to watch over and over. So yeah.
Well, I'm sorry for that, but still, I think it was really good the one time I watched it.
Yeah. So I've seen it like 5 times. So
Uh,
it's not bad. It's fine. Moana's
good,
great.
good soundtrack.
Yeah, sure. One of the probably one of the better Disney's of the past, like Disney's of the past 20, 30 years, right?
Yeah, for me, it's either that or Frozen, which you've probably had to watch more than that, right?
Yes, that's correct. I never saw Frozen 2 though, so yeah.
It's well,
I
it
heard it's
has
an
some
X-Men movie.
interesting. Yeah, it is an X-Men movie. I mean, I don't think it's as good a film as the first movie, but it has some cool soundtrack stuff. It has like that girl, what's her name, Aurora singing on it. She's like that weird Iceland or Swedish lady,
Okay.
like kind of a weird experimental thing, but it's like it's not
Is it
really that experimental, but I don't know. It's
like New Bjork?
no, not even old Bjork. I mean her own work is like that, but the Frozen 2 soundtrack isn't, is what I'm saying.
Oh, that would be cool. Well, the time we got Bjork songs in the movie was "Dancer in the Dark," which depresses
Yeah,
everybody. So,
I hated it. You remember that? You tried to make me watch it, and I was like walked away in anger in like 20 minutes.
The songs are good. But yeah,
Yeah,
the movie
I'd
itself,
heard the soundtrack and liked it, but it was like, ugh.
yeah, I would not be down for that movie now, I'm pretty sure. So
I hate Lars von Trier at this point. Every time I've tried to watch this stuff, I'm like, the nicest thing I could say is that I was kind of happy at the end of Melancholia because everyone died. So all those
yeah.
terrible characters that were not likable at all
I was
died.
about to say, I thought you got to the end of that one, and
I
thus you
did.
did.
I watched in the theater.
Oh, okay. You're not a walkout sort of guy.
It wasn't nah. I mean, I don't think that one wasn't like as bad as his usual stuff, but it was still pretty bad.
Well, I think we've veered off enough from Haunted Mouths. I mean, we talk more Batman, but hey, we got Caesar Romero, so that made sense, I guess. It's an excuse to talk about like Batman uh, ephemera.
Is Batman the toothbrush
Yes, Tooth Man,
or is
Toothbrush Man.
Batman the dentist?
Oh no, the dentist is a professional wrestler, I think, like vintage style.
Yeah, he looked sort of like Vincent Price. It was weird.
But yeah, I guess we're probably finished with the haunted mouth because we missed Halloween anyway, even if it does last
Well,
all year. We missed that date. We missed the
sh-
calendar date.
should I have like for Halloween? Should I have just taken those like pink tablets and then chewed them up and pretended my mouth was full of blood?
Yeah, probably. Not that
Yeah,
I don't think many people watch this, but sure.
I think it was pretty scary and pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is a one of those fun, freaky '70s educational films that leave kids feeling a little disheveled afterwards. And all of them, like, I think I know that voice, but they wouldn't recognize Romero's name at the end, so they probably were having trouble like putting the wires together.
In the 70s? I don't know. I
They
think
still
they
show.
would, right?
I don't know. I don't.
Didn't we? I knew who Caesar Romero was in the 80s, so they were running Maybe they were only running Batman on TV because the movie came out. But
No, I think that was pretty much a staple for several decades.
yeah, it's hard to remember when you would just watch whatever was on and you stuck with it.
Because I remember that was a real latecomer to media as well. Like I don't think they put out that show on disc until like 4 years ago or something.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I could be mildly wrong, but I know it was somewhat late because of some well, various rights issues. Right? It's like Batman.
I specifically remember in the 90s like seeing the Adam West Batman movie at like the grocery store on DVD with a cover that looked like the logo from the Tim Burton movie. Like they were trying to like trick people into buying it.
that oh yeah, the movie was available for a long, but that was like all the Adam West Batman you could get for like 15 years or something, like easily.
Yeah.
Now,
That's weird. I don't know.
now you can watch it all. Oh, we're back to Batman. What do you know? Anyway, this is
We
Oral.
can't stay away from Batman.
This is
Just like
Oral.
the film
Just
industry.
like the plaque.
Why
Yeah.
don't you stay away from Batman, film industry? Stop making him. Stop making Batman.
We'll keep making Oral Hygiene, which you can support us on Patreon at Podcastio Podcastius. We talk sci-fi at Matt Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary, The Twilight Zone at Time Enough Podcast, video game stuff. There's Luke Loves Pokemon, Monster Mash for the Monster Hunters, and the Game Show, which is for British guys screaming insults at each other, and occasionally us. You were on
Yeah,
one, I was
maybe.
on one, so yeah, okay.
I haven't even gotten to the one you were on yet.
Okay, let's
Sometimes they have an episode where they like just name Pokemon back and forth, and then I just have to take a break and go to another podcast and come back
okay.
later because
I
I can't handle listening to the entire list of Pokemon in one sitting.
Yeah, I anyway that if you do listen to my episode, I do not do that. So
I
I
won't either whenever I end up getting to torment them. Looks like the Batman DVDs came out in 2014,
yeah, okay. So okay, 4 years
not
is a
long
little
ago.
short, but not that long ago.
Not long ago, considering that.
Okay, I'm gonna go brush my teeth then with blood.
Yeah.
All right. Boom.
Jesus.
Yeah, what about Jesus?
I got this new stand for my camera, and it's like the table that I usually put it on is like it just slides around.
Oh, that's fun.
Like, yeah, I need to put some like feet on it or something. It's just
Ah,
like, woo.
I realized I never played the silent cello I had because basically it's inferior to a real cello in every way. Because I thought,
Silent cello? Is this an
yeah,
electric one or something?
it was electric, right? But because I thought, oh, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, maybe it'll have like cool things. But it, like even for recording, because you can plug it straight in. But even for recording, it's really better just to mic the real one. So I sold that and got a resonator.
Wait, a resonator? Isn't
Yeah,
that like a type of guitar or something?
yeah. Hold on, I
Wait, you
grab.
were talking about that on the chat the other day.
I think so. Here, I pull it out.
Oh shit.
Here, I should get the. Sorry, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get my camera. So, because when I was trying to show you those DVDs earlier, I was like had the notes in front of my picture. So, I was like, I don't know where the camera is. Here we
Mm.
go. One of these guys. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I've seen those and I'm always kind of like, that looks scary, and then I never touch them.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Because
I don't know what it does.
basically you can do it like Delta Blues style. You should play with a slide basically, like within
Okay.
Delta Blues style like this, or you put it like in your lap and you can do like kind of Hawaiian or bluegrass style stuff that way. The point is you got to open tune it, so it's always a chord.
Hmm.
But the point they were invented in 1928, and this actually is the dobro. So if you've ever that dobro is just one kind of resonator. It's like Hoover is being one kind of vacuum cleaner.
So it's a brand.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's but not all resonators are dobros, but all dobros are resonators. But yeah, it was like right before they figured out how to do electric pickup. So the idea was the wood of the body doesn't matter. It's actually like just nice plywood, like like but this weird the metal cone is supposed to amplify the sound.
Hmm.
So you
Okay.
can play with horns and stuff. That's the idea.
Neat.
So they became obsolete within like 4 years of their creation, but then people were like, oh, actually they sound really good when you do slide on them. So people would open tune them and just start doing slide guitar. So
Almost
it's
like how the 303 got misused and then turned into whatever it was.
yeah, it's like an old timey 303 basically.
Neat.
But I have figured it's I think I so far it's something that I think I play more than my regular cards because it's really fun, right? But I don't know if
Hmm.
it's going to end up in too many recordings, but
Oh.
it'll end up in a few. But yeah, it's not, you know, it is fun as shit to play though, especially in your lap. It's just kind of weird to play a guitar in your lap, but
Maybe
but
sort of like how the wasp is for me, like how I don't know how much I can actually use it.
oh, I can. Oh, right. But yeah, I was about to say because I'm style wise, I can play it pretty much how you're supposed to. So, but because
Yeah, I fucking haven't done anything lately. I've just been playing video games. I've like gotten
it's
full fucking schmuck right now.
I just seem to play this thing really well because I'm like, oh, it's so easy, and then I'll hand it to someone. Yeah, anyone can play this, and they can't.
I mean, it sounds hard. Maybe it isn't, but you know.
No, you usually run the slide down, and you if you have it's good to have a good picking hand. I don't know if you have hand picking techniques or
Not
not.
really. I mean, I can it's like I can, but I've never done it really. It's like
I've actually
I've never enjoyed doing it, so I haven't really done it.
I've even got to the point when on guitar I like maybe use a pick 20% of the time these days. I mean, obviously, if I'm
I
really trying to rock it, like I got that Jaguar, and I keep getting these because the basically my American credit card on a Japanese Amazon is like 40% discount on everything right now because the yen is so
oh,
weak.
oh yeah, that's right. You've so that just keeps happening, huh?
Well, in this case, it was actually the silent cello, but yeah, it's even weaker now, right? I guess I'll get a new iPad now because I got that Jaguar, right?
Yeah, there's like a new I think is there a new iPad that actually like runs like actual shit, or am I just thinking?
I don't know. I
Or I
just
think maybe that might be a rumor. Like
mine is
they were gonna. maybe make one that ran actual Mac OS where you could like run Mac apps, but
Oh, okay.
that might not be the case.
No, I just need to, mine's almost 4 years old and it's getting to the point where like things are going to stop updating properly on it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, mine's from 2017, so but the thing is, I just never use it because I always just forget that I have it.
Oh, I use mine all the time because I'm on the train all the time, right? And at work,
Yeah,
go take a crap and play around, right? That sort of thing.
makes sense.
So my iPad is quite indispensable for me. It's my phone I barely use. I just listen to podcasts on my phone.
Mhm. Yeah, I just use my phone for everything because it's like in front of me, and I'm like, well, I mean, the iPad like copies every whatever does mirrors everything well, but it's like I just have to remember. It's
No,
like I don't
I
even know where it
use
is.
I use iPads. That's where I do most of my music recording. I do it on my iPad now, and
Ah,
then move it over to my laptop, and then put it into like Sony Acid and then put it together there. But I do my recording with the iPad these days, and
yeah,
using the GarageBand amps, which I guess are okay because I still got this Vox Tube amp here, which I barely use because I'm like, this one on the iPad's fine.
I don't think I don't think GarageBand on iPad is bad at all. It's just the thing where I just like doing multiple tracks at once.
Oh, I don't do
So
that often, so yeah, yeah. So in fact, I
it's
never do that.
yeah, it's because I have like a bunch of synthesizers to all run at once. So
And I'll sit there and overdub the synthesizer. So
I prefer just writing all of it at once and then having it where I can just sort of play or piano it, you know.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I still
That's how I write
mostly
stuff.
like play live. Like even if it's like a sequence, I'll like knob tweak the whole time. So
Oh shit, it's me.
yeah, I was about to say that's you.
That's me.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say I do a lot of knob tweaking, but it's like when I'm running it, when I'm sequencing everything, I can just knob tweak everything as it plays. But obviously, I only have two hands, so I couldn't like necessarily knob tweak every single thing at
Yeah,
once. But yeah,
I'm a knobber. Okay.
it's exciting to me to just like try and knob tweak everything and then while it's like
Yeah.
rolling down the hill.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay. I'm gonna run off for now then. I will catch like I said, maybe I guess we're looking at Wednesday, Thursday next week. So just tell
Yeah,
me which one, because the other one I'll probably do Sleeping Beauty on.
cool. I guess Wednesday is probably better.
Okay.
Let me just pencil that in.
Okay.
All
Later
right, cool.
then. Let
Later.
me hit the recording.